My name is Jamie Welsh. I'm 18 years old and I'm from South Portland, Maine. I would say that I've been a Christian my whole life. I was raised in church. I've been going to the same church for 14 years, and I was kind of one of those kids who was just always there. But by the time I was in 8th grade, I started to realize that, yeah, I was raised in church and I had an understanding of who God was and all of that, but I'd never fully chosen Jesus. Like, I'd always just been acceptant of the fact that he chose me and it was good enough and I was going to heaven. But I went to a youth conference in 8th grade called Acquire the Fire with some people in my youth group, and it was there where I realized that there's another step to Christianity. Like, it's more than just going to church on Sundays and being active in the church. It's a relationship. And when I was there, I remember worshiping in a way that I hadn't worshiped before, when I saw other students just humble themselves before God and just crying out to him. And I was so confused by that because I'd never experienced that kind of relationship with God before. And it was there where I finally accepted the fact that I need to be intentional with what I'm doing with God. Like, I know that he loves me unconditionally and I'll always understand that as a Christian, but I finally grasped the concept that I needed to give him something. I needed to give him my full self. And I was finally ready to do that. Like, my eyes had been open to God, and I'd been through a lot before that with like mental health disorders and something that my family was going through, and it just all seemed to come out in that moment when I finally gave that to God. And ever since that trip, that realization at Acquire the Fire, I'd just been completely on fire for God. There's no other way to describe it for me. I just fell madly in love with him, and I've just dedicated all the time I have to just growing that relationship and not being fully dependent on the fact that he loves me, but also giving back that same love to him. My ministry involvement in my church, the Rock Church in Maine, I help lead the middle school ministry. So I play a pretty big role in picking curriculum, making sure that leads and teachers are doing what they're supposed to be, and just creating a one-on-one connection with students. I think that's really important. It's something that my leadership, my youth pastor and leaders at the church have really entrusted me with, and that's definitely like an incredible honor to have that responsibility, just being 18 years old. But on top of that, I help out with the preschool ministry. I help teach when they need me, as well as leading a youth worship program that we have once a month. I help the teenagers with music, and I help lead that when they need me. I want to attend Highlands College because I just truly feel like that's where God is calling me to be. It has only been until recently where I realized that God has intended me to work in a church, and that's something that I never even considered before this point in my life. But Highlands has everything that I could possibly dream a school having for me, and just the opportunity that it's possibly going to give me to work in a church just blows my mind, and it just seems like such a privilege and such an amazing opportunity. When I went to the Motion Conference 2 years in a row, and just feeling that environment and the love that everyone in this organization, in this church family has, is just something that I just want to embrace fully and just learn how to take that and bring it back to my home church. My biggest personal struggle has been some things that my family has gone through, a lot of hurt and pain, and that's led to some mental health issues for me especially. So definitely just dealing with that and accepting the fact that life isn't easy, and God never promised it to be easy. Like, he told me that there's going to be struggles in life, but just trying to understand that has been a huge struggle in my life because it's hard to accept pain. But knowing that God is there is just one of those reasons that I've been able to overcome it, and just understanding that there is the light at the end of the tunnel. And everything that I've gone through with like bipolar depression and anxiety and loss in my family, all of that has a purpose, like whether that's to help teenagers and younger students understand that their pain is going to turn into something beautiful and it's going to turn into their testimony. Like, whatever it is that God's intended my struggles to be, like, that's something that I'm ready to accept and I'm ready to move on and grow from.